What a game, what a game, what a game, what a game. Boy, did we get a treat for game one of the 2025 NBA Finals. Damn. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. Pure cinema. It was, mwah. I would love 7 games like that. I would adore it. Make it happen, basketball gods. Hopefully, this will be the last video I make from my phone, as long as I'm not at work, doing a recap or just talking basketball in general. Hopefully, I could get the studio and my new computer up and running by tomorrow. But here we are, and I'm happy to be here regardless. Now, I picked OKC to win in 6. But I want the Indiana Pacers to win. And I finally put the respect on Oklahoma City's name when I picked them in the finals. I wasn't giving them the respect they deserved through most of the postseason. And when I finally picked them through many revised predictions, because my predictions this postseason has been absolutely trash, and when I finally give them the respect, game one happens. Don't make a fool of me yet again, Oklahoma City. Please no. But boy, what a game. Whew. I don't even know where to begin. I don't. Shout out to the Indiana Pacers, man. AKA the comeback kids. Did it again. Haliburton delivering in the clutch yet again. Don't quote me on this, but I think I read somewhere that in this single postseason run, I think Haliburton has 5 or 6 clutch buckets, go ahead / game winners. I think that includes the shot to force overtime against the New York Knicks, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. Either way, it's impressive stuff. That boy has mettle. That boy has heart. That boy is fearless. And I love the story involved. Him being called overrated amongst fans and his peers. People not giving Haliburton the respect he deserves because his jump shot is ugly or he doesn't really have a flashy game. He's not the type of guy that's going to make many top 10 SportsCenter plays. Is top 10 SportsCenter still a thing? Tells you how much I haven't watched SportsCenter in years. But people don't respect him. But you couldn't write anything better than this from what we're seeing from Haliburton and the Pacers, given the disrespect the Pacers and Haliburton have been getting for all season. All season. Happy for the Indiana fans, man. I really am. And as I'm watching that game, make no mistake about it, they were having trouble with OKC's defense. That defense was pounding them, smothering them. They couldn't move them sometimes. Being Indiana, they couldn't move these guys trying to get to the paint, running into brick walls, getting sent back in the passing lanes, pickpocketing, all that stuff. I was like, man, Indiana's really having trouble with the defense. It's stifling. But with that being said, the lead never blossomed to anything that was seemingly out of control. I can't even say a 25-point lead is out of control in this NBA, being that how comebacks are so frequent now, and you can go on a 10-0 run in less than a minute with the 3-point shot these days. But you get what I'm saying. And it seemed like every time throughout the game, every time Indiana would push and start to get close and it'd be like, okay, here comes Indiana, OKC would come back and just hit timely buckets to keep them at arm's length away. And that just seemed like to be happening throughout the entire game until that last final push in the fourth quarter that led to the Tyrese Haliburton game winner, and OKC could not stop the run anymore. And they just slowly chipped at it, Indiana. They weren't taking desperation threes or anything like that when they were getting down, to that 2-minute mark, and they got pushed to 7, they got pushed to 8, whatever. They didn't crumble, they didn't panic and make bad decisions. And that's what kept them in the game. I was like, they don't need to go for a three. I was like, don't bomb a three. Don't bomb a three. You don't need to go for a three. You got plenty of time. Just go for a two. Play good defense. And the game will present itself for you. And that's what they did. Now, they did take some threes, and they hit some threes. That boy Nimhard cold, man. He's smooth, too. I like how he just be dribbling and to just be like, I'm going to yank that three. Obi Toppin was clutch. Miles Turner, huge buckets. Huge three-point shots. All around Indiana. Hell of an effort. Hell of an effort. Would you believe if I told you that OKC forced 24 turnovers? Indiana only forced 6 turnovers. 24-6 in the turnover lane. Huh? And you still lose after forcing 24 turnovers. And you only get turned over 6. And you still lose. That's crazy. And that might be cause for concern. Maybe. Now, as I mentioned earlier, my predictions this season have been absolutely trash. Garbage. Doo-doo. I admit, it hasn't been my brightest season when it comes to playoff predictions. Definitely not. But with that being said, I take great joy in actually saying something correct. Once, in one of my last videos, I said it is going to be important for Indiana to win the rebounding battle. And it's not going to be easy, given OKC's size and length, especially in the center position. I said it is going to take a total group effort rebounding the basketball. And I felt like that was an X factor. That was something that Indiana needs to do if they want to see success. And boy, did they rebound the basketball. Indiana Pacers out-rebounded OKC 56-39. 56-39. Rebounds are important. Lifelong Laker fan here, lifelong. And Phil Jackson always preached, we need to win the boards. Every game, win the boards, win the boards, win the boards. And I think it's especially critical for Indiana to win the rebounding game because you need to limit OKC's possessions as much as possible. And you need to give yourself as many possessions as possible because they will make it hard for you to score with their defense. So you need to make sure you get every opportunity you can and limit theirs. So the rebounds are especially important, especially against OKC because that defense is so nasty. So I was like, oh my God, I actually called that right. Oh, I called the rebounding battle right because I've been wrong all postseason long. Oh, God damn. I am not completely stupid after all. Shit. They're going to have to keep crashing those boards, and they're going to have to keep crashing those boards hard if they want continued success in the series. But every game's not the same. I get it. But regardless, that's going to be key moving forward. So great effort by the Indiana Pacers, man. What can I say? You know, get turned over 24 times. Shea goes off for damn near 40 points. Still not enough. Shea had a Shea game. Still not enough. You still lose by 1. I told you. These Pacers are going to be tough. These are the worst kinds of teams. Now, both of these teams are deep. Make no mistake about it. Both of these teams are deep and, for the most part, well-balanced. But the thing about the Indiana Pacers, man, you can't just try to take one guy out the game because their offense isn't predicated on one guy having a big night. How they move that ball, how they find that synergy. You know, there's really no game plan for Haliburton, a player like him. What are you going to do? Oh, let's send a double team. Well, he's just going to make the right play like he always does. That's what he does. And if he so happens to go in his scoring bag and he's hitting, good luck. Good luck. He's not a guarantee like Shea is when it comes to scoring the basketball. But good luck. I know OKC fans mad right now. I know OKC fans thought this championship was in a bag. Thought it was in a bag. Didn't matter who was coming out the East. They said we went through the championship. He said the Denver Nuggets were our NBA finals. Everything else is cake. Oh, the Eastern Conference, please pull up. We about to win this championship. It's in a bag. OKC fans are already buying their 2025 NBA champion t-shirts in advance. But we got ourselves a series already after one game. That ain't gonna be easy. No matter who comes out, it's not gonna be easy. I love seeing it. If you are not a casual fan, if you're a pretty hardcore basketball fan, you're gonna love this series. They're like, oh, it's OKC in Indiana. Probably not the draw. Probably not gonna bring the casuals in. They're looking for names like Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, blah 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 blah. Teams like the Lakers, blah 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 blah. You know, Golden State, whatever. Big market teams, things like that. Big names, bigger names. They're probably not gonna come watch these games. In fact, I was talking to my friend. I was like, I got to watch the game. Final start. He's like, oh, yeah, who's playing? I was like, yeah, explains a lot. You just asked me who's playing in the finals, and you're a sports fan. But, hey, if you're a pretty hardcore basketball fan, you don't consider yourself casual especially, you're loving this. You're loving the kind of basketball that's being played. You love the matchups, and you're having fun watching these games. It's Indiana OKC series. The NBA so desperately needed this, in my opinion. So desperately. The NBA can thrive and move on without certain players making it far in the finals. Of course, Stern and the league doesn't want that because they want to make the most revenue as possible. But hey, what you gonna do? Maybe you should start advertising and marketing some of these other guys and bring them along because this is the future of your league. And here we are. But anyway, love would love it. Love it. I cannot wait for game 2. I cannot wait. OKC is going to have to play desperately. They are. If they didn't know before, they know now. They in a dogfight. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have to minimize their mistakes, and they're going to have to play a damn near perfect game. They are. They have to come out aggressive. All 48 minutes. One thing I've been saying about the Pacers, man, these dudes play all 48 minutes. Do you know the Indiana Pacers only led for 0.3 seconds that game? Think about it. Think about it. They only led for 0.3 seconds. That is, when Haliburton hit that game-winning shot, that was their first lead of the game. Imagine leading a game for 0.3 seconds and winning. Yo. Can't make this up. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I got to head out. Sorry, this one's a bit shorter, but got to finish off my night, get ready, take care of some things, you know. So, like I said, hopefully I'll get the studio up and running, and I'll be back to business here for the next episode, whenever that is, all right? Appreciate you guys for stopping in. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. If you haven't voted yet, check out our community section. Go check out our poll. Vote on who you believe will win the 2025 NBA championship. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. Catch you on the next one. We out, baby.